There are kids in this world who are different. Special.
There are these kids out there somewhere. Whittier calls them the Four. Why is it always 6 minutes?
In this episode, I'll be breaking down the latest episode of 6 Minutes Season 4, piece by piece. Well, hello, Review Pop listeners, it's your host Landon here, and in today's episode, we're going to be doing something a little different. The first half of the episode will be my interview with Jonty Weston, who voices Jude in 6 Minutes at a Time, and then we'll have a shorter breakdown of episode 446 of 6 Minutes Season 4. And the reason it was shorter is because I was out of town this week, so I had to cut it down a bit. But we still have a packed episode, and I hope you enjoy it. We are joined here by the wonderful Jonty Weston, aka the voice of Jude in 6 Minutes at a Time. Hey Jonty, how you doing?
I'm doing alright, thank you. Yeah. I'm on holiday, but it's raining outside, so some good, some bad, but really not bad in the end.
Pretty good here too. It's, pretty early because of the time zone difference, but I got up early this morning, so...
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Alright.
Sure.
It's hard to play a villain because you have to imagine what's going through the character's mind. But I'm wondering how, you relate to your character.
I like playing bad guys. I think playing bad guys is just fun, because you just have a lot more scope just to sort of play. But one thing that you sort of, as an actor, you're always trying to do is, regardless of whether or not the part is the good guy or the bad guy or in the middle or whatever, you've always got to try and find something that you connect with and is sort of like human and true. Nobody is just innately evil, or the people who aren't that interesting. So that's always something that's sort of going through my mind. I think what I do connect with a lot with Jude is determination. And that's something that I kind of really admire. And in a way, I wish I had more myself.
For sure. In 6 Minutes, there's no flat characters, right? Jude is a very round character, and he's an interesting character.
Yeah, I think there's many times when I've sort of picked up a script after being sent it through and thinking, "Oh, is he going to turn around and be a good guy again?"
Right. Well, next question. I asked this question to everyone on the show because I think it's great. I'm wondering what the first audio drama or radio drama you listened to was. Or was it 6 Minutes?
So, the first thing that I remember listening to, religiously, was in the UK, I don't know if you have the same narrator, but the Harry Potter series, the audiobooks were narrated by a guy called Stephen Fry, who is like a national treasure. I'm sure he's the most iconic, audiobook narrator ever. And I do love working in audio. I come from a music production background, so all of the techie stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And so it's also great because if there are any young wannabe creatives, whether that's filmmaking or audio making or writing books or whatever it is, what I love about it is once you have the microphone and the recording kit, which is all getting cheaper and cheaper every day, you can make something that can sound really good and be a great way to experiment with story and with character. I would urge anyone who's interested in trying to get a hold of or some of that equipment and just playing and seeing what you can do with it.
I think about that because, I'm using, a microphone, which, was a great investment, but, there's going to be a same microphone that's, half the price and has, great quality as well. So I think, yeah.
I completely hear what you're saying, but don't wait for 2 years down the line because you think it'll be cheaper. Invest in your creativity and invest in
for sure.
your ability to grow.
Yeah. Well, next question. How did you decide, audio fiction was something you wanted to be involved with? You kind of talked about how, you enjoyed it yourself, having that music background. But, was it your character or something else? And, speaking of your character, do you take inspiration from any similar characters, right? This is kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier.
Getting into audio stuff, as I say, I came from a music production background, so I had all of the kit, but I just kind of neglected it as an option for me until COVID came around. And as an actor, as a writer, as a maker, options became non-existent. Then, by making a voice reel and doing some little commercial jobs and things like that, just to sort of build on it. And it's been something that's been really wonderful because it means that I have quite regular work now from it. My favourite being 6 minutes. I think it's just so much fun and the team's great. And then on the character front, I mean, it kind of, the baddie is always British.
I love how you brought up, all the bad guys being British because, that's kind of a thing within GZM. It's funny how, we can draw, that parallel of so many of the bad guys being British guys, and I think it's funny, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. Next question, what inspired your love of acting? Did you watch a lot of movies or TV shows growing up or, plays? And can you remember an experience that sparked your love of acting?
It's a great question. So my mum was really into theatre and plays when I was young. So I got to go to quite a lot of theatre and I loved it and loved watching it, but I never thought I'd really do it until I remember I auditioned for a play at school. I made somebody laugh on the panel for the audition. I thought, oh, this is great. And it sort of became my thing and my identity. And I really invested in it. And it was the only thing I did throughout school. I wasn't very clever, or at least I wasn't very academic. And I struggled in a lot of ways. So I found a lot of comfort in doing all the plays that were going. But yeah, as I say, it's plays have always been the thing that I've loved.
Yeah. All right, next question. Now, I know you and, a lot of the other actors are, spoiler-free until you read the script. So I guess I'm wondering if, what your reaction to the scripts is like. Are you, completely shocked? And, how does that shine through in your acting, not knowing what's coming next?
So obviously you read the scripts and you do your prep. So you always know to an extent what you're going to do, but you have the director also to guide you. And they're usually very loose. And what's great about it is Claire and the team tend to give you loads and loads of scope to play, and to be as creative as you can be. But in terms of not knowing what's coming in the script, the next week's script or next month's script or whatever, I think that's great. You should never ever play something like the next thing that's going to happen. But yeah, I think it's great to not know what's coming. It's always shocking and surprising and fun.
When 6 Minutes was originally being recorded, they recorded in the studio, of course, and it was great, having all the actors, just guessing what's going to happen next, and I think that's a really great experience for the actors, for sure.
Definitely.
Hey, well, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, and, it was so great to hear about, all the great experiences you've had working on 6 Minutes, and, I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thanks, man. It was a joy to talk.
Welcome to the episode breakdown. And Angel was so fantastic in this episode. I mean, I was blown away. Also, the music was top-notch, so let's get into it.
Time portal opener would be much more practical.
Cyrus
Andrews, come with us.
Mom, what's going on?
I don't know, they just burst into the lab and grabbed me. They left Adelaide lying there unattended.
Get your hands off of me!
Leave him alone!
Let me go!
Cyrus, don't fight them too hard. Just in
Hurry
case.
up, fellas.
She played a big role in this episode, and, this is kind of where it started, right? When we met Angel for the first time, in Cyrus the Lost Tapes, I had no clue she would be this involved, and, I think me and so many, fans are glad that she's this involved. We talked about this a bit last time, but the Adelaide situation is a big deal. Dr. Whittier gave the ultimatum of either you save my daughter or your son faces consequences. And I didn't expect to see Whittier, this dark in season 4. But he's definitely become arguably more dark than he was in season 2.
Nonsense. There's always a way.
You never were able to accept that you can't control everyone and everything in this world.
Why does everyone say that?
Who's everyone?
My beloved Guinevere used to tell me that before she disappeared.
Did you say Guinevere? As in Fontaine, the founder of Elixir Academy.
She's your beloved?
Enough questions. Ivan, take them back to the lab.
No! I won't let you!
Right, so this confirms so many theories from fans. Guinevere Fontaine and Dr. Whittier were together, and I think Brynleigh fits in somewhere in that picture. It makes sense that Guinevere was Dr. Whittier's beloved, right? Knowing, how 6 Minutes goes, they don't write random characters for no reason. But what I'm curious about is her disappearance. What does Dr. Whittier know about her disappearance? Cadence Cavendish disappeared too. I think the two cases are related.
I can't trust you anymore. You have too much power.
Is that a syringe? Get it away from me!
Sorry.
What have you done? What did you inject into me?
The antidote.
No!
So this must be how Angel lost her powers. I'm guessing that originally Angelica started to take over, so Dr. Whittier, had to use the antidote to get rid of her powers. But what we're seeing here isn't that, right? A lot is being altered in just this scene alone.
Initiating the building's electromagnetic defense mechanism in 3,
Wait.
2,
No!
1.
What's that? It's like a blast of energy! Look out, Mr. A!
I'm trying to avoid it!
Whoa! Arena Field live helicopter? Oh no. Brynleigh's little again.
This surge is getting hard to fight. Hold on!
Oh! Brynleigh! Get away from the door! Whoa!
Wow, so much happened in just that clip alone, and I could picture it so well. Firstly, I didn't know Whittier Corp had a defense tool quite like this. It's so action-packed, and, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Until next time, this is Landon saying, peace, love, and time travel.